Right, let's dive into this. Munshi Premchand, a giant of modern Hindustani literature.
Yeah.
You might not know the name yet, but
Uh-huh.
get ready to be fascinated.
Right.
We're talking social commentary, revolutionary ideas for his time, and stories that still hit home even today.
Absolutely.
And we've got a biographical excerpt to guide us through.
Oh, nice.
So let's unpack this fascinating life together.
Yeah, I'm excited to delve into this.
Yeah.
Premchand's story really highlights how powerful literature
Yeah.
can come from those challenging personal experiences.
Absolutely. And speaking of contrasts,
Right.
this is a man who is nicknamed Nawab, meaning baron,
Wow.
by his wealthy landowner uncle.
Okay.
Yeah, he's most known for depicting the struggles of everyday folks, particularly those facing poverty.
Right.
What do you make of that juxtaposition?
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it?
It is.
That early exposure to both privilege and hardship
Right.
likely had a profound impact on his worldview. Imagine seeing those stark inequalities in Indian society firsthand.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he was uniquely positioned to understand and portray the human condition in all its complexity.
Oh, it's like he was given this incredible, multifaceted lens to view the world.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't just about observing from afar.
Right.
The excerpt mentions the profound impact
Yeah.
of losing his mother and grandmother at a young age.
That's right. Those early experiences with loss are woven into the very fabric of his work.
Yeah.
Premchand understood the depths of human suffering and
Right.
how those experiences sort of ripple outwards,
Yeah.
which lends an emotional weight to his writing
Yeah.
that continues to resonate with readers.
You can really feel that empathy
Yeah.
in his stories. And
Yeah.
it's amazing to think that amidst those personal challenges,
Right.
he developed a deep love for fiction and storytelling as a child.
It's amazing.
The excerpt even talks about him hanging out
Yeah.
at a tobacconist shop, captivated by these epic Persian fantasy tales.
It speaks to an innate curiosity and a fascination with the power of narrative. Those early encounters with storytelling clearly planted seeds that would blossom into his own masterful storytelling abilities.
Absolutely. And his rebellious streak shines through early on, too.
Right.
The excerpt mentions his first literary work was a farce,
Oh, really?
poking fun at his uncle who was constantly scolding him for,
Oh, no.
you guessed it,
What?
reading fiction.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It suggests that social commentary and challenging norms
Yeah.
were already brewing in his young mind.
Right.
He wasn't afraid to use humor to critique the world around him, even within his own family.
It's clear he was a keen observer from the start.
Yeah.
And his writing quickly evolved from those early farces to more serious work focused on patriotism and challenging British rule.
Right.
But then life threw him a curveball. He was forced to leave formal education due to financial hardship.
Wow.
It makes you wonder how those limitations might have shaped his trajectory.
It's a thought-provoking question, isn't it?
It is.
Did those limitations fuel his empathy
Right.
for the struggles of ordinary people?
Yeah.
Did they inspire him to seek knowledge and understanding through other means?
Yeah.
It's certainly a testament to his resilience and determination that he continued to pursue his passion for writing despite facing those obstacles.
He wasn't one to be deterred, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And despite those setbacks, Premchand's literary journey truly took flight.
Okay.
His first published novel, Asrari Ma Abid,
Okay.
exposed the corruption and exploitation within religious institutions.
Wow.
Pretty bold for a debut novel, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And what makes it even more intriguing is that he published it under the name Nawab Rai.
Oh, wow.
It's almost as if he was strategically using his privileged nickname to subvert expectations and shine a light on the hypocrisy embedded within the very system that granted him that privilege.
It adds another layer to the complexity of his character, doesn't it?
It does.
He's using the tools of the establishment to critique the establishment itself.
Yeah.
But things took a dramatic turn when his early work was deemed seditious by the British government.
Wow.
His books were actually burned.
That's right. That experience forced him to adopt the pen name Premchand to continue writing.
Yeah.
It was a turning point in his career and in many ways marked the beginning of his rise to literary prominence.
It's remarkable how adversity can sometimes lead to reinvention.
It is.
And even greater creativity.
Absolutely.
And as he continued to write, Premchand made a significant transition, shifting from writing primarily in Urdu to Hindi.
There are different theories about this shift, but one prominent one suggests that finding publishers for Urdu literature became increasingly difficult. Premchand recognized this challenge and saw an opportunity to reach a wider audience.
Yeah.
Through Hindi, it was a pragmatic move that demonstrates his commitment to connecting with readers.
It also speaks to his adaptability and his understanding of the evolving literary landscape.
Yeah.
And with that change came his major breakthrough, the novel Seva Siddhan.
Right.
It really solidified his place in the literary world, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Seva Siddhan is remarkable for several reasons. It was originally written in Urdu, but it was published first in Hindi, highlighting his fluency in both languages, in his ability to bridge those linguistic worlds.
Yeah.
But perhaps even more importantly, it showcased his powerful style of social realism, which was groundbreaking for its time, particularly because he delved into sensitive topics like women's issues.
It seems like he wasn't afraid to tackle the tough subjects and challenge the status quo.
Yeah, he really wasn't.
And speaking of challenging the status quo, this is where Premchand's story takes a really interesting turn. He wasn't just a writer. He was a revolutionary at heart.
Okay.
Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement, he resigned from his secure government job as a school inspector to fully dedicate himself to writing and social activism.
That was a pivotal moment, wasn't it?
It was.
He chose to prioritize his principles and his art over financial security.
Right.
It speaks volumes about his character and his belief in the power of literature to effect real change.
It definitely required courage, especially with a family to support.
Absolutely.
But it also highlights his unwavering belief in the power of words to make a difference in the world.
His decision to leave his government job wasn't just symbolic. It was a testament to his commitment to living his values. And it's important to remember that challenging the British Raj at that time carried real risks.
He was putting himself on the line for what he believed in.
He was.
And speaking of risks, he even established his own printing press.
Wow.
Saraswati Press.
Okay.
Which ironically faced its own share of challenges, including a workers' strike.
Oh, wow.
Even with the best intentions, things didn't always go smoothly.
It's a reminder that even revolutionaries are human, right?
Yeah.
They face real-world complexities and unforeseen challenges. But what's crucial is that Premchand never abandoned his ideals or his mission to use his writing as a tool for social change.
He was in it for the long haul.
He was.
And his commitment to social reform wasn't limited to his writing.
Okay.
His second marriage to Shivarani Dedi, a child widow, was a bold move that directly challenged societal norms.
It really was.
Of the time.
That act was incredibly courageous. He didn't just write about social injustices. He actively challenged them in his own life. Solidifying his reputation as a true reformer.
He put his beliefs into action. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the core of his work. There's powerful themes and the impact that made him such a literary giant. What do you see as the hallmarks of Premchand's writing?
Well, Premchand was a master of social realism. He portrayed the lives of ordinary people with unflinching honesty, capturing their struggles, their aspirations, and their complex realities in a way that was both captivating and thought-provoking. He wasn't afraid to shine a light on issues like poverty, exploitation, the dowry system, and caste hierarchies, forcing readers to confront the harsh realities of Indian society.
It's like he was holding up a mirror, reflecting society back onto itself.
Absolutely.
Warts and all. And he didn't stop at just highlighting problems. He also offered critiques, advocated for rational thinking, and championed social reform. He was a writer with a purpose.
His writing was a powerful blend of observation, analysis, and deep empathy for the human condition. He tackled complex issues with literary finesse, elevating both Hindi and Urdu fiction to new heights of literary excellence.
And his impact extended far beyond the literary world. He became a voice for the voiceless, inspiring generations of writers and activists. With his courage, conviction, and unwavering belief in the power of words to change the world.
His legacy is immense.
Yeah.
His works are still studied and celebrated, not just in India, but globally.
Right.
He's considered one of the most important figures in modern Indian literature, and his influence is evident in the works of countless writers who came after him.
It's remarkable to think that even though he passed away in 1936, his stories continue to resonate with readers today.
They do.
Speaking of which, let's explore his later years and the legacy he left behind.
As Premchand's career progressed, he continued to push boundaries and explore new creative avenues. He even ventured into the Bombay film industry, writing the screenplay for Mazdoor, The Laborer, a film that depicted the harsh realities of the working class.
It sounds like Mazdoor was pretty controversial for its time.
It was.
The excerpt mentions it faced censorship.
Right.
Which isn't surprising given its focus on labor rights and social justice.
Yeah.
Even in a new medium, Premchand couldn't resist challenging the status quo.
Exactly. It shows remarkable consistency in his values and his commitment to amplifying the voices of the marginalized.
Right.
Despite facing challenges and setbacks, his belief that art could be a powerful force for social change never wavered.
He was a true champion of the underprivileged.
He was.
And then came his masterpiece, Godin, The Gift of a Cow.
Yes.
Which is widely considered one of the finest Hindi novels ever written.
It is.
From what I've gathered, it's a poignant exploration of rural life.
It is.
Poverty and the intricate dynamics of society.
Godin is truly a remarkable work.
It delves into the complexities of human relationships, economic disparities, and the universal yearning for a better life. The protagonist, Hori, a poor peasant who desperately desires a cow, becomes a symbol of the human struggle for dignity and fulfillment.
It's incredible how Premchand could take a seemingly simple concept, like the desire for a cow, and weave it into such a rich tapestry of human emotions, societal pressures, and the complexities of rural life in India. It speaks to his genius as a storyteller.
Absolutely. It's worth noting that Godin was published in 1936, the same year Premchand passed away. It's almost as if he poured all his wisdom, his insights, and his profound understanding of the human condition into this final masterpiece.
It's a poignant thought, isn't it?
It is.
His final work became his most acclaimed. It speaks to the enduring power of his words and his ability to connect with readers across generations. Sadly, his time was cut short. Premchand died in 1936, leaving behind a literary legacy that continues to inspire and influence writers and readers alike.
His death was a tremendous loss to the literary world. But his impact continues to resonate deeply.
Absolutely.
Premchand is remembered as one of the foremost figures in modern Indian literature, a true visionary who used his pen to illuminate the human condition and fight for social justice.
His story is a powerful reminder that great art can emerge from challenging circumstances.
Absolutely.
And that words can have a lasting impact on society. But his work wasn't just about India of his time. His themes of social injustice, economic disparity, and the human struggle for dignity are sadly universal, aren't they?
They are.
And it makes you wonder which of his stories would resonate most strongly today, given the state of the world. That's a great question. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
We'll continue this conversation in just a moment.
Sounds good. Well, consider Kafan, his short story published the same year as Godin. It depicts a destitute man who collects money for his deceased wife's funeral rites, but ends up spending it on food and drink instead.
Wow, that's a pretty stark and unsettling premise. It sounds like Premchand wasn't afraid to explore the darker aspects of human nature.
Exactly.
Especially under duress.
Kafan is a powerful example of Premchand's unflinching social realism. It forces us to confront the brutal realities of poverty and the difficult choices people are sometimes forced to make when faced with extreme deprivation.
It's a reminder that survival can sometimes trump societal expectations.
Absolutely.
Even those surrounding death and mourning.
It can.
And to think he was writing about these difficult topics while facing censorship and political pressure.
He was constantly pushing boundaries, both in terms of content and style. Premchand challenged traditional literary conventions, paving the way for a new wave of writers who could explore similar themes with greater freedom in the post-colonial era.
So in a way, he was not just a writer, but a pioneer.
He was.
A literary trailblazer who helped shape the landscape of modern Indian literature.
Precisely. He opened up new possibilities for writers to engage with social realism, critique societal norms, and give voice to the marginalized.
Yeah.
His impact on the development of modern Indian literature is undeniable.
It's inspiring to see how one person's passion and dedication can have such a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
Not just within their chosen field, but on society as a whole.
Yeah.
His work transcended geographical boundaries too, didn't it?
Absolutely. Premchand's works have been translated into numerous languages and continue to resonate with readers worldwide.
It's amazing.
His stories transcend cultural boundaries because they tap into universal human experiences. Love, loss, ambition, despair, the yearning for a better life. These are themes that resonate with people, regardless of their background.
It's a testament to his ability to capture the essence of the human experience.
It is.
In a way that transcends time and place.
Yeah.
His writing style must have played a role in that, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Premchand's style was characterized by its simplicity, clarity, and directness. He avoided overly elaborate language or convoluted plots, choosing instead to focus on the raw emotions and experiences of his characters.
It sounds like he was a master of getting to the heart of the matter.
He was.
Cutting through the noise to present stories that were both relatable and emotionally resonant.
Exactly. He had a keen eye for observation and a knack for capturing the nuances of everyday life in a way that felt both authentic and engaging. You feel like you're right there with his characters, experiencing their joys and sorrows alongside them.
The excerpt mentioned that he was a voracious reader, immersing himself in works from various cultures and languages. Do you think that diverse literary diet influenced his writing?
Without a doubt. Premchand was exposed to a wide range of literary influences, from classic Indian epics to Western novels. He drew inspiration from these diverse sources, blending them into his own unique style. It's like he took the best of what he learned, combined it with his own unique perspective, and created something entirely new.
It speaks to his openness to different perspectives.
It does.
And his ability to synthesize those influences into a style that was both familiar and innovative. He was also a skilled translator, wasn't he?
He was. Premchand translated several foreign literary works into Hindi, making them accessible to a wider audience. This not only broadened his own horizons, but also enriched the literary landscape of India by introducing readers to new voices and perspectives.
It shows a genuine passion for sharing the power of literature.
It does.
Not just his own creations, but the works of others that he found valuable. It seems like he was driven by a desire to broaden the scope of what Indian literature could encompass.
That's a great observation. Premchand wasn't content with simply telling his own stories. He wanted to expand the literary horizons of his readers and create a more diverse and inclusive literary culture in India.
It's a remarkable legacy. So looking back at his life and work, what do you think is Munshi Premchand's most enduring contribution to the world of literature?
I believe his most significant contribution was his unwavering commitment to social realism. He dared to portray the lives of ordinary people with all the complexities and struggles in a way that was unprecedented in Hindi and Urdu literature. He wasn't afraid to show the difficult realities of poverty, social injustice, and the human condition.
He gave a voice to the voiceless, shining a light on issues that many would have preferred to keep hidden.
Absolutely.
And in doing so, he not only sparked a literary movement, but also inspired generations of writers and activists to use their voices to fight for social justice and equality.
Precisely. Premchand's legacy serves as a powerful reminder that literature can be a potent force for change, a catalyst for social transformation. And it speaks to the enduring power of storytelling, the ability of words to connect us, move us, and inspire us to create a more just and equitable world.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the life and work of Munshi Premchand.
It has.
From his humble beginnings to his rise as a literary giant.
Yeah.
His story is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and a deep belief in the transformative power of words.
His legacy continues to inspire and challenge us today.
It does.
Urging us to use our own voices, to speak truth to power, and strive for a better future for all.
From Nawab to a champion of the underprivileged.
Yeah.
What an inspiring trajectory. And let's not forget the courage it took to marry a child widow in those times.
It's true.
His personal life was just as revolutionary as his writing.
He certainly didn't shy away from challenging social norms,
Right.
both in his life and his work.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that
It is.
That we all have a responsibility to contribute to creating a more just and equitable society.
Well said. This deep dive has left me with so much to think about.
Me too.
I can already tell that this is just the beginning of my exploration of Premchand's work.
There's a lot there.
But before I get lost in Premchand's world,
I
want to make sure our listener has something to ponder as well.
Okay.
What's one key takeaway you'd like to leave them with today?
I think one of the most important takeaways from Premchand's work is the power of empathy. He had this incredible ability to step into the shoes of his characters, to understand their struggles and motivations, even when their choices might seem unconventional or morally ambiguous.
That's so true. He wasn't afraid to show the complexities of human nature. The gray areas where right and wrong aren't always so clear-cut.
And by doing so, he invited us, the readers, to do the same, to look beyond our own limited perspectives and to try to understand the world through the eyes of others, particularly those who are different from us or who are facing challenges we may never fully comprehend.
It's a call to cultivate compassion and understanding, to recognize the shared humanity that connects us all, even across vast differences in experience and circumstance.
Exactly. And I think that's a message that's more relevant now than ever. In a world that can often feel divided and polarized, Premchand's work reminds us of the power of empathy to bridge those divides and foster a sense of shared understanding.
Beautifully said. This deep dive has been so insightful and thought-provoking. I feel like I've only just scratched the surface of Premchand's vast literary legacy. There's so much more to discover.
And I encourage you to do just that. Dive into his short stories, his novels, his essays. There's a wealth of literary treasure waiting to be unearthed.
This has been a real treat for me, and I hope you feel the same way. If you're intrigued by what you've heard today, I urge you to seek out some of Premchand's work. Godan, as we've discussed, is an excellent starting point. It's a story that will stay with you long after you've finished reading it.
I wholeheartedly agree. Godan offers a profound and moving glimpse into the human condition, and it's a testament to Premchand's enduring brilliance as a storyteller.
Well, on that note, I'm off to find myself a copy of Godan and get lost in Premchand's world. Happy reading, everyone.